Welcome back to Butter Sports News. We got some awesome topics today, and I can't wait to share them with you. So take a listen. There's an awesome story in college football about Trent and Richardson. There's this young girl in high school that wants to go to prom, and she also has cancer. Pretty much, she takes this girl to prom. You could tell, he's a really good person, and even though he goes to Alabama, and I can't stand Alabama, this is a really great story. Trent Richardson, hats off to you, my friend. That's pretty cool what you did for her. In basketball news, specifically women's basketball, Pat Summitt retires, one of the greatest coaches of all time. Regardless if she's a woman, it doesn't matter. She's a great coach no matter what. There were even rumors a long time ago that when she was coaching at Tennessee, that she might even switch over from the women's team to the men's team. That's a big deal, at least in college sports or even sports in general. Anybody that knows Pat Summitt, she's going through so much. She's got dementia, she's very sick, and now she retires. Some of the key points that I want to show of what she's done in her career, and here they are. She had over 1,098 wins, 18 Final Fours, 8 national championships, 7 Coach of the Year awards. Pat Summitt, we can't thank you enough for what you do for all of sports. In baseball news, the Colorado Rockies just won a game. And guess who the pitcher is? Jamie Moyer. In case you don't know who Jamie Moyer is, he's a 49-year-old lefty. He's the oldest pitcher to ever win a baseball game. And, that's pretty awesome. 49 years old. I cannot believe that. He's pitching against some guys that aren't even born when he was starting to pitch in the majors. And this is a great story. Hats off to you, Jamie Moyer, for doing what you do for all of baseball. Now going back to college basketball news. We have John Calipari's Kentucky Wildcats, and they have decided all 5 starters are going to enter the NBA draft. Now, honestly, I don't know everything about the Kentucky Wildcats, but from what I'm getting from the story that I read is this isn't the greatest idea for all 5 of them to go, but if they're happy with what they're doing, then they should do it. Personally, I probably wouldn't do it for a couple of players, but now they're off to the NBA. And good luck with their career. In baseball news, we have some 2012 results and some statistics. I'm a baseball guy, so I love stats. It gives me an idea of what's going on in Major League Baseball. Okay, there's some stuff in this article that I agree with, and there's some that I don't agree with. So let me start with what I don't agree with. They're saying that the game is being reduced to one-on-one battles. Now, from what's been happening in the last couple of years since the steroid era is over, is pitching's become more dominant. Usually when you have a lot of home run hitters, it's either feast or famine. That's more of a one-on-one battle. But when the game there's more depth to it, is when you have bunting and situational stuff. That's not just one-on-one. There's more depth to it. Now, people could say the exact opposite of what I'm saying. I just think that when you think one-on-one, it's pitcher versus hitter, and that's it. It's home run or strikeout. And I really do not agree with that. Another thing I disagree with in this article is declining demand for defense. To a point, it's correct because we need more offense in baseball now because they're not as offensive. But defense is always a demand in every sport. And they will say defense wins championships. Sure, to a point, the demand is a little bit lower than normal. But you always have a demand for defense. So I kind of disagree with this argument. Now, the stuff I agree with, the pace of the game is so much faster, it's so much better, it's so much better for baseball. It was ridiculous in the 2000s when you had playoff games that were 4.5, 5 hours long. Totally unnecessary. Speed up the game, make the pitchers go faster. And that was me being a pitcher. I thought the game needed to always be a little bit faster. You get in a rhythm, especially if you're a pitcher. You don't want the game to slow down. At least not me. But you want to be able to control the game. So, there is that dynamic that you kind of have to deal with. I agree that strikeouts have been bigger than ever before. And they do have a stat that 7.28 strikeouts per game is the highest it's ever been in Major League Baseball history. And I'm not shocked. The steroid era is done. I do agree that people are striking out more, because they're not taking steroids. Now they're going after a different type of player. There are more utility players than I've ever seen in baseball since I've been alive. Infielders are coming back. They don't need to hit 20 or 30 home runs a year anymore. I mean, you had tons of guys that could do that. That's not happening anymore. Now we got guys that can steal a lot more bases. I think this is good for baseball. They're cleaning it up. I mean, it's about freaking time. So this is great news. So these were some of the topics I thought were interesting at butter.net, BUTR.net. What do you think about baseball? Do you think it's going well? The decline in hitting is actually making the game more interesting? Or do you just think baseball is just fucking boring? And hey, there's a lot of people that think that way. So let me know. Rate, comment, subscribe. Thanks, guys.